listeners, welcome to the MedReach podcast by MedReach Knowledge Sharing Forum, top notch talk with healthcare experts. I'm your host Roshna. Let me give you a quick insight about what is MedReach Knowledge Sharing Forum. We are the only forum to focus on healthcare management knowledge sharing. Our forum helps you to connect with healthcare industry experts. MedReach Knowledge Sharing Forum is the right place to share best practices, interesting queries and articles respect to the healthcare field. To share and seek in all the fields of healthcare industry, join with us today. Visit knowledge.medreach.in. Today we have Dr. Gomati to join with us in the recording. She is a manager at Napier Healthcare Bangalore. She also have other work experience as senior business analyst at Incarnus Technologies Private Limited and also as a business analyst at Attune Technologies and executive clinical safety and quality healthcare practices at Apollo Group of Hospitals. She have more than 9 years of experience in the healthcare field. Without the delay, let us get into the topic. Hi, Dr. Gomati. Welcome to the Marriage Podcast.
Hey, hi Roshna. Thank you very much for having me in Madreach podcast.
Pleasure. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Roshna. How are you?
I'm doing so good. Thank you. So tell us about yourself, Dr. Gomati.
Yeah, sure, Roshna. Roshna, I'm basically a Siddha physician. So, most of the people are not aware, I can say that Siddha is a traditional Indian system of medicine. Suppose that I have completed my master's in health service management. Then I started working for big corporate chains of hospitals like Apollo Group of Hospitals. Then I thought, okay, maybe I would like to enter into the IT part of healthcare. So I joined a healthcare IT company, and from that I started working with different IT companies like Attune Technologies, Infarness, and now currently I'm working as a pre-sales manager for Napier Healthcare Solutions. Yeah.
Great, Doctor. That's really a nice journey, Siddha to IT field. Fabulous, Doctor. Fine. Could you share us the time you stepped into the leadership role?
Sure. It's a good question to ask because when I was studying Siddha, it is more like, right, how medical field looks like. It is all about marks, ranks, and all those things. So I was more about a bookworm at that time. So I never volunteered for any outside activities. It is all about studies, studies, studies. So apart from this medicine, I didn't get to know what the actual world looks like when I was studying my UG. But the whole thing changed when I got admission for my MBA in Chennai. So I did my master's from Chennai in a reputed institution. So that changed my whole attitude, I can say, because I started volunteered for things, and I enjoyed being a person who can lead the people, so to help people with things. So that point I understood like no, not only the education but also exposure to what is happening outside, apart from the academic, plays an important role in molding a person. That was a very good learning from my PG. That's where I started taking up leadership roles, leading my team to various extracurricular activities, where going to conferences, so taking care of all the initiatives from the college. And that is where exactly I stepped into the leadership role when I was doing my masters, and that helped me a lot later in my career also, I have to say that.
So glad that you have evolved in your student period itself. And yeah, every student becomes a leader when he or she takes the initiative.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you are correct.
Yes, being in the healthcare IT, could you share with us what are some of the current trends in healthcare IT, Doctor?
Healthcare IT, to be frank, it is a very broader term, Roshina. So you can divide healthcare IT before COVID 19 and after COVID 19. I can say that because COVID 19 pandemic really changed how the technology has been viewed by most of the countries. To be specific, in India, because in India, if you consider earlier any hospital related information system or healthcare management system, that was just related to billing. So if you go to the hospital and if you're talking about a healthcare software, they will tell, okay, how my revenues can be calculated. That part alone they will talk about. But recently, the pandemic bring in a very new perspective to the peoples at all the levels in healthcare. I can see that because I'm seeing that trend coming up. You can see there are AI people are willing to take it up, and then Internet of Things, where the wearable device market, if you are considering, it is booming, and then big data, blockchain, and the more important thing now, people in India are looking at is the virtual telehealth solution. So the pandemic mandate that the patient cannot visit at the hospital, or the doctor cannot consult the patient because of fear of life, to be put it in a particular way. So what happens is like now they are looking how they can remotely give consultation to the patient, and there comes the virtual teleconsultation part, where the Indian hospitals are looking into it at a greater extent, I can say. So I think this will be a permanent change or a permanent trendsetter in healthcare after this COVID-19. Seriously, the IT trend in India will be definitely looks in a different way. I can say that. Yeah.
So yeah, as we've spoken about this AI and blockchains and all those things, how AI is transmitting the Indian healthcare IT.
Just to be very frank, India is still in the backseat when it is coming to adapting healthcare technologies. AI, if you take the international scenarios, along with machine learning, it brings a lot of value to the healthcare sector. So it helps an innovative way to diagnose a disease, create treatment plans, and it also helps in medical research, drug discovery, and clinical trials. And it also people are predicting that it monitor and predict epidemic outbreaks, which is very much crucial in situation like COVID-19. Not only COVID-19, we cannot expect the pandemic can be only COVID-19 and there will not be anything more in the future. Definitely there are a lot more things to come, and with AI in hand, definitely the hospitals and the healthcare sector will be efficiently tracking the those type of pandemics, I can assure that. So this will also increase the operational efficiency during peak loads in hospitals, since you can see in Western countries where the lot of people are getting admitted in the hospital during these type of pandemics. So that AI will be helpful, because you cannot always expect a doctor to attend each and every patient. They have to give priority to the severe cases. So now hospitals are adopting chatbots, so the people can talk to the chatbots in the home itself, and the chatbots can understand the questions over a period of time during artificial intelligence, and they can give suggestions to the patient how they should handle that particular scenario. But AI in India, it will definitely come up, but it will take time here in India.
So you mean to say that the AI reduces the patient waiting time and also first line consultation time and all those things?
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Yeah.
Fine. So as a healthcare business analyst, what are the common tools you use for analysis, doctor?
This, Roshna, depends according to the organization. So every organization has their own set of tools. For example, as a BA, I use different tools such as for creating mock screens and diagrams. I used Visio, eDraw, Draw.io, and then being a part of the implementation team in my business analyst journey, we used Bugzilla for bug tracking and Jira for internal bug tracking. So these tools differ. So the default tool, the Microsoft Suite, we will use. So this tool, basically, these are the basic tools. Apart from that, according to an organization specifications, we have to use a different kind of tool. So I have experience in Tableau as well. So according to the need of the time, we will use different tools for handling the requirements from a client. Yeah, that is the case.
That's really a good insight about business analyst too in healthcare IT. So moving forward, share with us some of the myths and realities you came across, doctor.
So, myths and realities, since it is a pandemic situation, we can talk about this particular myths and realities in this scenario itself. So, first thing is, if you see, Western countries have the robust healthcare system in the world. So everyone, like before the once the pandemic started creating havoc, everyone started telling, okay, they can manage very well. But in countries like India, where we are still under developing nations, we cannot handle the pandemic better. We are going to be in a great trouble. All those things. But if you see how we are doing right now is actually very very better than those western counterparts, even though we are a very highly populated country with a lot of people living in such a small space where social distancing is practically impossible. We handled it very well, even though we implemented lockdown which affected the economy very much, but we handled it pretty well when compared to the western counterparts like US and UK, where the death rates are very high. And also from economy point of view, also their employment rate, everything went downhill after this pandemic. So I can tell it is not always about the developed nation and their spending on healthcare as a matter, but also considering countries like India, which has the potential to grow into a powerful nation, can be understood from very well from this pandemic. Also, there are other myths related to corona. Is like when this virus cannot survive in hot weather, so we people in India can be able to manage it well. No, but it is not true. It can survive very well in hot weather. That people understood it now. And also, main thing is coronavirus is man-made. No, it is not man-made. It's every time then and now the viruses will come and we have to survive the viruses, and this virus is specifically not man-made. So these are the some of the important myths and realities in healthcare when it comes to corona or COVID-19, I can say.
Yes, doctor, you're absolutely correct. All these three things were popping up in the community randomly.
Yeah, correct.
Fine. Moving forward, could you share with us one professional accomplishment you're most proud of and why?
Sure, Roshna. So when I started my career in Attune Technologies, there was a big client, lab chain. I can say that company is handling, and the person who is the business analyst for that particular project left the company. So when I joined immediately, I was asked to taken care of the project, and I was very new to the healthcare IT company, and I hardly knows anything about business analysis or requirement gathering. Maybe I theoretically know all the things, but not practically. But they have confidence in me and they have given me the responsibility to handle the client. And initially, there were hiccups, and I struggled a little bit to understand here and there, because business analysis is not about handling the client. It is all about handling the client, giving back the requirement to the development team. So follow up with the development team for the development activities, and then you have to coordinate again with the QA team to find out whether the product is bug free, and then it is again get back to the client to give back the requirement, and they have to be satisfied. It is all about coordinating with every team in the organization to get a better result. So I was struggling initially, but later I managed it pretty well, and even the client was very happy with my performance. So that was the professional accomplishment I always felt proud of in my career.
Wow, first attempt got a blockbuster hit for you.
Yeah,
Applause.
seriously.
Okay. Um, from 10 years now, where do you see the field, doctor? How the growth will be?
So, if you see, COVID-19 has changed the face of the healthcare IT. Now, people understood the reality and the need of a proper technology to be used in the healthcare, so that they can handle more of pandemics better in the future through technology. It is all about now. You can see even the government introduced a tracker to trace the patients, to trace the contacts of COVID-19 through Arogya Setu. And we also, being a layman, some people can see the Arogya Setu and can find out, okay, there are three infections near to my place, so I should take precautions. That is the way the IT has changed the perspective how the healthcare can be handled very efficiently with the technology. So I am expecting AI, natural language, Internet of Things, as I said, blockchain. So all those things will change the phase of IT tremendously. And if you see previously, Alexa, so all those conversational analytics was used in e-commerce chain. But now you see the people are introducing those conversational analytics into healthcare also. So those technology can be used to understand the patient needs better, so that the hospital or the provider can give a better healthcare to the patient. So in 10 years, you can see how chatbots and other AI technologies are used in other domains like banking. So e-commerce will be very frequently used in healthcare as well. So you can expect a better patient outcome and quality of healthcare in the next decade. I can assure you that. Yeah.
Super. That's really good information. So, yeah, all will be absolutely happy if it's benefiting the patient with the easier way and in most accurate way.
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite tool? I mean, blockchain, AI, anything like that? You inspired so much and you love anything specifically so much?
Yeah, if you see, I'm also a doctor, so I can understood, I can see, I used to see continuously that the clinical people are the more tough to convince to use the technology. Okay, now there are the younger generation doctors, they are very much interested in using technology. But when you have taken the senior doctors, it is very difficult to convince them to use the healthcare information system when comparing to their western counterparts. They will see, no, I don't have time to look into the application and enter all those details. I'm having a patient to take care of. Even patient felt very bad if the doctor is doing something in the laptop and not concentrating on what they are seeing. But that the technology has come up with a lot of things which will improvise all this. For example, speech to text option. So the system will understand what the doctor is saying and automatically capture all the clinical details. That is one thing I'm very about. And then if you see, the doctor can write the prescription manually in a pad kind of thing, and that will automatically get stored in the application. Again, that is a very interesting thing that will improve the efficiency of the doctor. We can keep on talking about what are the technologies currently available, like AI. Recently, I have come across one AI technology which will identify pneumonia X-ray from the normal X-rays. Again, this is all because if you see in COVID-19, pneumonia is the easiest complication any patient can develop. So if the AI comes in to help, so the doctor will be less burdened, so that they will be in uh, they will be there will be an assistant kind of thing which will help them to diagnosis the condition faster and better. So I'm you cannot say there is one technology I'm in with. I'm completely impressed by all the technologies currently healthcare is having. Yeah, I can say that.
That's really great. So the chatbot and all those things, will it like come and combined in like a holistic approach, or it will be an individual? Like,
Sure.
will it be
Yeah.
all combined in HMS software, or it is available separately to all?
It is up to the technology people to decide. But people are now giving it as a part of the healthcare information software, so hospital information software, because there is no point in having that as a separate thing. So it should be a holistic thing where a hospital information system should have all these things as a part of their application or functionality, so that it can be better used by hospitals and the providers.
Great. So yeah, there are a lot of inspiring technologies, really.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So if you wish to transit one best practice and essential knowledge to the next generation, what will you share, Doctor?
See, Roshna, even though I have moved my days from Siddha physician as a Siddha physician to the technical side, I'm always deep down in my heart, I would always like to be a Siddha doctor only, because Siddha is a very what I can say, I cannot express that in a word also. It is a very best medicine where our ancient siddhas practice, but it is unknown to a huge number of people. That was a I don't know why it got went in that way, because unlike Ayurveda, which has a great wide exposure all over the world. So if I get a chance, or if I would like to transfer some knowledge to the future generation or the next generation, I would like to bring into this world the knowledge and the power of Siddha medicine. Because if you see in this pandemic situation, the government, even the Chinese government, if you take, they have practiced the traditional Chinese medicine along with the modern medicines. Similarly, here in Tamil Nadu also, the government is practicing Siddha along with the modern medicine. And if you can really use that medicine to fight all these pandemics and other diseases, where the people are majorly suffering from all those, because India is the diabetic capital, India is the obesity capital. So all these things, if you see, you can fight with Siddha along. So both Siddha and modern medicine should go in hand together. So this is the only thing I would like to transfer to the next generation. Yeah.
Love towards the traditional medicine. Really great. So, yeah. I think most of the people are even traveling for these countries, Thailand and India, for getting these traditional medicines also, right?
Yeah, you are correct.
Nice. What is your all time favorite book, Doctor? Could you share with us?
Sure. Always I read a lot of books, but don't mistake me. I read all inspirational on those books. I'm a fan of, very big fan of fantasy books and science fiction. And J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter is my all-time favorite book. You can ask me why children's story. Even though it is a children's story, the creativity and out of box thinking highly inspired me when I was a child. So I can say my all-time favorite would be the Harry Potter book. Yeah,
That's really nice. High five.
yeah, thank you.
So yeah, we are done with the questions and podcast. Thank you so much, Doctor. Today you joined us and enriched this session with us. This was,
Sure.
but with a lot of knowledge. I hope many people will get benefit through this.
Sure, Roshina. Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate MedReach for having people from different areas of the healthcare to share the knowledge to the world or the healthcare community, I can say. And thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you,
Bye.
Roshina. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
Bye bye. Hello, listeners. If you want to ask any questions regarding this episode, follow the topic in our Medrich Knowledge Sharing Forum. Thank you for listening. Hope you all enjoyed the session. Keep gaining the knowledge with healthcare industry expert by Medrich Podcast through Medrich Knowledge Sharing Forum. Until the next episode, take care.